Awesome, awesome. Cameroon. Oh, awesome. That's a really cool spot to be in. Very glad that you are here with us and thank you for sharing. Um, and to go ahead and get us started, I'm going to actually take a moment and introduce everyone to Tech by Choice because I do see some new faces or Zoom screens and names that I haven't seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I'm going to walk through a couple of things with everyone here. So we are officially in the Tech by Choice resume review and resume portfolio LinkedIn review. And so a little bit more about the community. Tech by Choice is a nonprofit that we started officially 4 years ago today. Today is our anniversary day. And so we started this nonprofit to help underestimated groups enter, stay, and thrive in tech. And we do this from a number of different ways. We make sure that people have the skills that they need. We make sure that we're creating space where people don't have to code switch in. Like we could just talk normally to try to figure out how to navigate this space. But most importantly, we provide additional skills to help us stay and thrive. So we focus on financial literacy, workplace discrimination, and just mental health and how to just be a better you. So that is a little bit about Tech by Choice. I would love for folks to go ahead, if you're not already in a part of the Tech by Choice community, we will actually be closing out our membership by the end of this month. So definitely check out the website. I just dropped the link to that in the chat. And if you would like to become a member, you would just go ahead and head over to the membership page, fill out this form here, and you will be able to get access to our TBC Slack, which is 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week support. The same way we do resume reviews here. You can also jump into our Slack. We have a job hunting channel. So our job hunting help channel, so if you ever get stuck on any part of the interview process, you can drop your resume, get feedback, and you can do that async or just like through the Slack. We also, through our membership, you will get access to our membership portal, which we'll be launching at the beginning of this year, next year, and we will also be giving a lot of different discounts and access to different resources and things like that, all through the portal. So if you haven't signed up to become a Tech by Choice member, this is the perfect time to do so. If anyone has any questions about Tech by Choice, please feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to chat with you and answer any questions you may have about it. But for today's session, we're going to go ahead and review to make sure people feel confident about going into the job hunt. So to get started, if anyone has anything that they would like to review, if you could please raise your hand in Zoom. And to get to the hand raising functionality, you would just go ahead and at the bottom panel of the screen, you would click raise hand. And when you raise your hand, that will put you in line and help me understand that you have something that you would like us to review. And if no one has anything that they would like to have reviewed, we can also use this time to just talk about any questions you have about entering tech or navigating the interview process, or how to even get started with creating your resume or your portfolio site. Just want to use this space for like office hours and things like that. All right. Do we have any questions? And when you do raise your hand, the way that we'll be able to see your resume is if you have your resume in Google Docs, you would be able to just send me the link and I'll be able to open up the resume in real time. And that's how we will handle that one. Okay. And we do have a resume that came in, but Andre sent over his resume, but he would not be able to make it. And so he did ask to get his resume reviewed. So I don't think anyone has their hands raised currently. So to kick us off, I will go ahead and review Andre's resume. And so, let me see. Yeah, I think this is fine. So, okay. So starting off, Andre shared with me what I like to do is I like to get insight on what they're looking for, what are the goals that individuals have when they want feedback, and making sure that we're able to provide that in real time. So what Andre shared with me is that he is currently on the job hunt. Okay, perfect. I see your hand raised and we will jump to you next. Thank you for raising your hand. So Andre says that he is currently looking for work. He is a full stack developer that leans heavily in on the front end, and he is currently in the job hunt. He has picked up a couple of jobs in the Web3 space and taken on some freelance work here and there, but is looking for full-time employment. So understanding that that's what he's looking for and that's the type of feedback that he would like to get, I'll go ahead and walk through his resume and give some insight on what I think about it. First thing that I look at, I don't know if this is truly a concern because I can't currently test it right now, but I would question if these colors, if the contrast is high enough for accessibility reasons. And so that would just be something I would suggest that he checks on his own to make sure that his branding is readable for all people, or for as many people as possible. Then we jump in and we see that we start off with the quote, which I think is pretty cool, but I don't really understand how the quote matches. I see how it ties in. It ties into learning a little bit more about him. I do think when we have those executive summaries at the top of resumes, I think that's a really great space and time for people to tie in all of the different skill sets that they may have, especially if you're a career transitioner and you're trying to show people like, hey, I have this skill set and this is how it connects. And this is how it connects to all of the different things that I could do. So for Andre, I know that he also transitioned to tech from a non-traditional path. So for him to say something along the lines of years of experience in customer support, I'm able to really hone in on being able to design a website that's truly user-centered, consumer-centered. I think that would be a great way. And then talking about how he has all of these different skill sets and uses these different frameworks would be great. And I think that would be an easy way to go ahead and clean up this part of the resume right there. But I do like how he was able to hit a lot of keywords that the different software is looking for when it comes to scanning a website or a resume. I think that is really, really important, and I think he did a good job with that. So that is good there. The other thing I'm going to talk about is just like layout. So this layout I think is pretty good. I'm able to see very quickly, hey, these are the languages that he knows, and then these are the databases, version control, frameworks, and software. I would say that for software, some of this is like software, and then like Agile and Scrum is kind of a methodology. So I would definitely rethink about how we group this so that it makes the most sense. The other things that I typically look at is education. So I would say we never want to put years down here just to make sure that we are not allowing bias to show up because if people start to try to guess or question your age, things could get a little weird and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that we are adjusting for that. And I'm going to zoom in so this is a little bit easier to see. Okay. So with the age, I would definitely make those adjustments there. So that's really cool update that we can make. I see that Andre has a number of projects. I think because Andre does have some developer or held dev jobs, I think the need for projects is not that important. I think linking to your GitHub with your portfolio projects is enough once you have the first few jobs that you can say like, hey, I was a developer and someone paid me to do that. I think you're good there. Responsive. Now I'm looking at what he has put down for his experience, and I think overall it does a really good example of what his day-to-day look like. The one thing that I'm missing from some of these bullet points is I was not able to really understand the impact of his work. And I think depending on the level that you're at, I know Andre is looking for a mid-level position as a full stack developer. I would hope that a mid-level developer understands like why or the impact of his work. So that would be something I would look for, and some improvements that could be made here. Yeah. So I think maybe removing projects, making sure we don't have the year, cleaning up some of the bullet points so it's just very obvious the impact of the work that you did, and ownership of these projects would be good, as well as making sure that you clean up your intro here so that it's more in line with presenting yourself in a way so that it's easy for people to understand what you will do next is going to be important. Okay. Since Andre is not here, usually we would ask questions and see if things make sense, but I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with Andre outside of this, make sure that he watches this and see if he has any questions there. So I do know we have a hand raised, and I want to just go ahead and jump over to the next person, but I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name and I don't want to do it incorrectly. Do you mind coming off mute and sharing how to pronounce your name?
Hello.
Hey there, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Thank you for this opportunity to review our CV and portfolio. Me, I'm Vanel Rabba. Vanel, you can say Vanel. It's
Valen.
correct. Vanel.
Vannon?
Yes.
Vannon. Okay, awesome. Thank you for helping me with that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So, did you have a resume, a LinkedIn, or a portfolio site that you wanted us to review?
Yes, please give me a minute and share you the links. This is the resume. The second is the portfolio. And here is my LinkedIn.
And your LinkedIn, okay. Awesome. So I think I can download it here. Okay. So can you help me understand a little bit more about what you're looking to do, where you're at on your tech journey, and just the type of feedback that you're looking for this review session?
yes, I'm I'm a junior web developer. Previously, I worked like 1 year and 6 months in a small company, a small local company as a front-end developer. But in September of this year, I joined a new curriculum. It's at Microverse. It's a remote software development curriculum for to become a full stack developer. And now I want to perform my CV, my LinkedIn, and my portfolio to be ready to get job after I finish my curriculum. I will finish my curriculum, I think, maybe in January. In January, I will finish the front end parts, and I will be able to to apply for a front end React job. So I want to be ready in January with my CV, portfolio, and LinkedIn to be able to apply for a front-end developer job.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for giving me that information. So, what I'm going to do now is just go through your um, portfolio site and just give you feedback, knowing that you're looking for work. So, I see that you're a full stack developer, websites, and I see that you're saying that you could do that for your business. The one thing I would say with this, I think it's a good intro. You have your call to actions with how you can connect with people. I would say just make sure that right now it's kind of hard to see the text with the image that you have behind it. I think how you did like this little like hover effect, like the overlay, is a really good to make sure that this stands out. You would want to do something the same thing for this background. So a good solution for this could be if you were to take an overlay on top of this image and make it like a little bit darker or lighter, or add some color to it so that the text just fully pops out and it doesn't kind of get stuck and fight with that image there. I always tell people when you link different social media platforms to your personal site, you want to make sure that you're linking something that is going to be professional and help people understand a little bit more about the work that you do. So I see Facebook is on here. So I would just say like, hey, just make sure that your Facebook is going to be more dev related than personal, because you don't want to have those things pop up. Okay.
Okay.
But overall, I think this is a strong landing page. I get an idea. As a dev, a eng manager, I understand like what all of these symbols are. I don't know if all recruiters will know what these labels are, so I would just hope that that's repeated down below with more detail. Get to know you, programming, web design, content writing. Okay, I get a really good idea of like what you are doing. You completed 5 projects, worked at 5 companies. Okay, cool. I think another thing that would be a little bit more important here, I like the fact that you say that you have 2 years of experience, but I would love to get more in understanding of, can you explain what some of these icon means? Can you say like a front end developer with React or something like that? And I think that visually for someone who is skimming your website would be very, very helpful. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
and see, look, I already got what I was looking for. So, because I didn't see it here, I would probably continue scrolling and I would see your skill sets are really cool here. I do think if you focus in on the part of the tech stack that you would like to focus on for someone who's skimming, that would be really good because you want to give them as much of that information up front as you can. But I do love this. I love the fact that you were able to focus on this. I love these headers. I think design-wise, this looks really strong. I get the different. I see the function. I could filter these. Is that okay? Cool. I love this functionality. I don't see that very often. So I do know that that's a common thing you have to do for a website. So I know that you already have that insight. And so that looks good. For clients, I see who you worked with. I think this is really cool. Testimonies, I think that's amazing. And then let's get in context. So email, phone number. I would say I would be mindful of putting my phone number directly on a website just because you can get a lot of bots that go after it. So you want to be careful with that. But I do like that you have your footer there and about you. I think as far as like a website goes, I think this looks really good. There are a few things that I would just clean up, like I said, making sure that you tell that information up front as soon as possible. That would be really cool. And then the other thing I think is if you can say full stack developer that uses React or something like that here, or MongoDB or whatever, or Node.js, whatever your backend languages are up front. Think about your heading is as if a recruiter would land on your website. This is the only thing that they see, and this is the only reasons why they would contact you. So you want to make sure you try to like front load that with all of the keywords, the buzzwords, so that they know that you are someone that they should reach out to. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about this flow so far?
I don't know how, but I was thinking that I should remove the image.
Yeah, for here.
Yeah, yes, my picture, maybe to add some generic image about software development now.
I think removing your image. Actually, I don't think this would be needed. Honestly, you could remove this. Now, I think if you remove the background image and just make it a flat color, or like a image with some patterns in it, with shapes and stuff like that, I think that would be a really good solution too.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the feedback that I have for your website. I actually am. Hold on. So I know you have sent over. Let me see. Let me pull up the chat. Your